Good morning, my dear students, and welcome back to Full Stack Web Application Development using JSP. Let's get quickly started with today's lesson. So far, what we have done, we have reached. We made this login and profile, so we can log out easily, and we can log in again. Yeah, so working absolutely fine. So let's go and configure profile.jsp today, right? So what are we going to do in the profile.jsp? So let me go to profile. Yeah, this is the profile. So we are going to fix two images first of all here, right? And the profile is going to have many different things, including the cover image and the profile image, maybe. Yeah, who knows. So let's quickly go and fix some images. And okay, so we'll get a sample cover pic, and we can Google for so this is sample cover pic. We can go to image and see what we can do and see if we can get one. Yeah, or we can still use a default image, if not a complete image, because and we still have to do many things before we get going with the image. So let it download first. Till the time the image is downloaded, what we can do is the following, right? So let's create the space for that image. The image is going to be somewhere here. Yeah, there are many different things, but yeah, what I just want another table to get created right alongside my what you call that as, just a moment. Alright, so where is my MySqli? Yeah, it does not come. So let me go to 1020/php my admin. Alright. So I'll go to FS project, and now is the time to make another table right here. So we are going to make another table, and we are going to call it profile, right? So it is going to have, say, about 8 columns, right? So we'll do addition and deletion of some columns afterwards. So first is going to be profile ID. It is going to take user ID, right? So it is going to now have profile. We can see it's going to have about, right? So we will say M status, it's marital status maybe, or status complicated. That's that sort of stuff that we use, married, divorced, and whatever. And then we are going to have description about the user, right? And then we are going to have about the user. It's going to be description of the user, and then we are going to have S description, that's the short description of the user, which is going to be varchar 200, or we can see 200. And this description in here is going to be long text, right? Is it? Yeah, it's going to be long text. Status is going to be 1 2 3 4 5, so it's going to be int. So user ID is going to be int again, which is going to be foreign key, right? It's for sure going to be a foreign key. And then we have ID, user ID, student, short description, status, and the long description, or we can say about the user, so not description, so I'll say about. Right, and what else do you want it to have? Nickname, right? So we'll say like a name, nickname, so whatever his nickname is, right? Or instead of nickname you can say favorite name or an alternate name, right? So maybe that can be done, right? And what else can we have? Favorite quote. Oh, so I think it's sufficient. So favorite quote is here. Favorite quote is going to be varchar 240, or let's keep it text instead of varchar. So let's keep it text. Quote can be big, it can be small, but yeah, we cannot give ample amount of space. Let's keep it for 240. Right, nickname is going to be varchar 150, about long text, int, short description varchar, and favorite quote, right? So we can say SCHO, school name, so we can say schooling, SCHOOLIN. So wherever he has done it, schooling from. So I'll say varchar. So now you can keep on adding and you can keep on removing things based on your liking. So keeping things in the profile is just like adding salt as per your own taste. Auto increment, primary key, user ID is going to be foreign key, integer, the short description. Yeah, I think it's done, so let's save. Now the question arises, how do you get the user ID, right? How do you save the profile of user? Or how do you insert that user ID in here? So that's where the actual problem, lies. So now what we are going to do, we are going to make a profile page here, right? Alright, let's go to accounts controller. So the moment you are authorizing the user, you can see authorize. The moment the user is authorized, what I want that user that you're authorizing to have. So private void enter, or we can say update. So we have this function update profile, so it's going to have user user. So this is what we are going to have here, update profile. So now what we are going to do here is the same that we did in what happened. Okay, source code. So I'll say user dot set y user dot set query. All right, so I'll say insert insert into now profile profile, insert into profile values, right? So you can say insert into profile values. Profile is a table name, so we'll see that, right? We can easily see that profile is a table name, so we can say insert into profile values, right? And now what do you want to insert? First is the column name, which is null, right? You can clearly see it's null here. It's auto increment, right? Okay. And now what we are going to have is the user ID as foreign key that we are using. So we can say single quote, it's integer, so I'll say double quote, user dot get user ID, right? And then I'll say comma again, and why? What happens? User dot get user. So I'll say user dot get user ID. So insert into profile values null user dot get user ID. Right, so yeah, we have this problem in here. And I'll say comma. I'll say the second one is going to be the foreign key, which is third one is going to be the description. So I have to basically do many different changes here, because we have to update the profile table now, right? So it's not only the users now, it's going to have some profile settings as well. So I'll go to users and see what is missing here. Right, so there are many different things which are missing. Alright, so what I'll do right here is I will just try and make those values here. Alright, so I'll say private string, we have SDESC, or we can say S short description, right? So private, and we have status. Status is there, maybe? No, we do not have status. Yeah. Okay, so now we have private int status, and we are going to have short description about. It's going to be long test, so I'll say private string about. And then we are going to have nickname, so that's going to be private string and name, right? That's nickname. Private string favorite quote, right? So I'll say private string schooling, right? And immediately I'll go and create getters and setters of all what are in front of me. So having created getters and setters, now what I do is use those getters and setters here, as simple as anything. Alright, so now the second thing is going to be the description. So I will say student dot get description. So I'll say plus user dot get s description, and then comma. What is description? It is varchar. Yeah, it has to be in single quotes. Sorry. So double quote. So I'll say single quote plus. Sorry. Single quote, double quote, plus. And now what I do right here, I will say user dot get s description. Right, and I say comma, single quote, double quote, plus, user dot get. What is after the description? Status. Oh my god, status is int. Why did I use single quotes? So here I would not use. So I'll say user dot get s description, and then comma. Here I would not use single quotes because status is going to be integer. So now after status we are going to have about, which is long test, and everything else is now string. So I will say single quote, double quote, and I'll say about, right? Okay, fine. So I'll say about. Or let's do one thing here, because we have just started, we don't have these details initially. right? So because we do not have these details available initially, right? So what I would recommend is the following. But I need to enter, right? So description has to be entered. So we can set them up, no problem. Let's delete all of them. Alright, so let's not have anything. So we'll say insert into profile values null user.get user ID, and now what we are doing to say, this is the auto increment ID and this is the user ID which we have to enter here. Then the remaining things whatsoever is remaining, right? So whatever is remaining, now for example we have this description remaining, so I will use these things here. So I'll say null, right? And I'll say null. So we can say NA and NAND. NAND is not a number, so I'll say null. So I'll say null. Let's enter null. Alright. Now so I'll enter null. And what is after that? Description. Status is int. Right. So let's keep it 0. So I'll give status as 0. About is going to be another null. And nickname null, favorite quote null, schooling null, 1 null, 2 null, 3 null. So 1, it's going to be null, it's going to be null, and it's going to be null. So how many null? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nulls and the user ID. The first null is going to be auto increment. When you supply null, it's automatically going to give you an profile ID. Instead of user ID, you're going to get a profile ID automatically. So now I want this to be fired automatically, right? So what will I do right here? So I'll say user dot I'll say user dot, or let me print it out, SOUT, system.out.println, user dot get query. So let's print it out. Now what we are going to do, as soon as the authorization is happened, alright, as soon as your login calls authorize, alright, and authorize, what authorize is going to give you, authorize is going to redirect you. But before redirecting you, what I want, right, I'll say this dot update profile. Please update the profile, right, before you basically go, right, and call the authorize function. Or what we can do right here, so we'll not call it here, we are checking if the user is authentic or not, right? And here we are selecting the ID of the user who is authentic. So this is where we can do right here, user.get result set. Now we are setting user.set user ID. Alright, so here I can go and call this dot update profile, and we have to pass the current student ID or the user ID. So we're passing the current user ID, right? And we are setting it up, we are completing our profile, right, and we are updating our model with user ID, and then we're calling to update profile, right, and we're passing the same user model or the object of user. Now the object of user has first name, last name, and ID, and out of all three, what do we require here? In update profile, we only require the user ID, and everything else is going to be null. Alright, so let us go and see what do you get. Okay, I'll clear, and let me go ahead and I'll first of all log out. So, and now I'll say find and password. So I'll log in. Yeah, so now we are getting insert into profile values null 23, then we are having null 0, null, 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 null. Okay, so I think it's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, and the only thing we have to do here is to terminate the query right here. So I'll just terminate the query just like this, right? So now what I do right here, so I'll say, hey, wait a second, user dot set prepared statement, which is p statement, as right this dot connection dot prepare statement, right? And we have to pass SQL, so I'll say user dot get query. So now prepared statement is set. What do we have to do is maybe surround it in try catch block so that exception is not caused and exception is caught rather than not caused is much better. So user dot set prepare statement, so I will say user dot get prepare statement dot execute. It returns true or false, right? So I'll try to catch the SQL exception, and I will try to catch the SQL exception. And after catching the SQL exception, what will I try and do? I will say user dot set message as user, or we can say as exception dot get message, right? Is that fine now? So now, alright, so now update profile is working fine. Alright, so let's see now whether we are able to update the profile at the time of login. Alright, so once I log in, because unless I log in, you'll not have to, because even if you log into Facebook, you check that once you sign in or you sign up, you don't provide profile details. You don't provide those profile details at the time of sign in. You provide those profile details after you log in and go to your profile page, and then you try to set your nickname, books you read, your favorite magazine, your favorite actor, etc., blah blah blah. But yeah, that's everything that we do. It happens after the login. So that's what we are trying to replicate here. The only matter of the fact that we forget is maybe the username, and now it's happening very quick, and let's keep the fingers crossed and see, has something happened? No, nothing happened. Okay, profile not executed, so I'll have to see why. Okay, no. Okay, insert into profile value. So are we calling this update profile somewhere? Yeah, we are calling it. So one dot prepare statement, user dot get query, and then we say user dot p statement dot execute, and yeah, everything else is fine here. I don't know. So alright, so let me first echo it again so that I will see what is happening. So I will say system dot out dot println user dot get query. So maybe this is going to help me diagnose the problem. Who knows? Okay, so I'll say if I can password. Alright, so now something might. Okay, insert into profile values 23 null. Okay, we are not closing the brace here. You can clearly see the brace is opened and we are not closing the brace. I'm closing the brace actually outside. No, we're not actually closing it at all. My god. Okay, now we are closing it, and we have to try and close it down here. Alright, so I log out, and on first login, my profile is ready. Yeah, now the profile is absolutely ready. I would like to add few more columns in here. Yeah. Right. So let me go to the structure of students, or maybe let me go to the structure of profile, and let me add. Let me go to the structure. Let me add 3 columns after schooling, right? The first column is date, time, or we can say date, right? Whenever he signs in, so I'll take a date, time, and we will keep college, right? So I'll keep college if he has any. And as I said, it's just like adding salt to your dish. You can add as much as you want depending on your taste and temperament. I can say other profile details to taste, just like we say salt to taste, profile details to taste, right? So I had to add just date, so I'll add college. I'll just add 2 or more. So I don't want to make it more hectic. You can do it yourself by adding more details, whatever you want to add. Alright, and now we can see college has 0. Oh my god, why did I? College has to be varchar 20. Alright, I can keep it something like this, right? Depending on your needs and requirements. Right now, so everything is done. I just have to do one thing. I will add current underscore. I don't know how do you spell it. So yeah, it is current underscore timestamp. So current underscore timestamp is going to update the date automatically, and another null is going to be in here. So now what I do, instead of keeping nulls, I'll just keep blank strings. 2, 3, 4. I'll just keep blank strings instead of nulls, right? Why? You'll get the answer soon. Right now, what I do, I'll go to profile table. I'll say, yeah, I want to delete whatever is in profile. And now I'll try and log in again. Alright, so I log in, password. So I'll go to login. Now I have been able to log in. Login success, and now you can see you're getting blank strings, so there's nothing, right? Only date is here, right? And college is also not there, and schooling is also not there. So we have been able to complete the first thing. Now what is now going to happen as soon as, oh my god, I just closed this. So as soon as you log in to your software here, alright, so at the time of login, automatically a table is going to be updated. Profile table is automatically going to be updated with your ID, right? And then what you are going to get is the following, right? You're going to update it accordingly. So in our case, what we did, we called update profile after is authentic, right? So if the user is authentic, you have checked that the user is authentic, and you have grabbed the ID of the user, call update profile, because you have to still pass user ID to the profile, and you're passing the same user ID to the profile, right? And now you can clearly see insert into profile values user.get user ID. So this is coming from is authentic. So now by this way, right? So now, but you cannot do this every time, right? You cannot do this every time. And now, for example, look, if I log in again, all right, so I'm going to update it. So I'll say Fahim password, all right, or I can say, all right, so you're going to do it again then, all right. So now if I go to profile, you will see that we are having duplicate values being inserted here. Yeah, what you can do, you can save duplicacy, but still it's not the case here. All right, a single user ID can have, or single user can have a single profile. A user cannot have multiple profiles. So in that way, what I can do, I can change this, right? Or I can change my profile settings. I'll go to the structure, and I'll say, hey, I want this user ID to be unique. I don't want this user ID to be duplicate. And now what you're doing, you're saving duplicate entries. Now if I write down, but still it's going to create an error here. But yeah, duplicate data will not come now. You try to save that. You can see now duplicate data is not coming, so but still not an option. All right, so what you can do, you can either try and do this at the time of registration as well, but you're still at the time of registration, you don't have ID. All right, so you cannot call that. So here you can call if the profile is already there, so you need not to do that, right? If the profile is already there, so you should not bother to insert into the profile. Right, so now for that you can try another thing. Right, so you can call this function. You can call this function right here. So we'll say private boolean, right, profile check, and you can pass user. So you can do this profile check here. All right, so I can say user dot set query. So you can see user dot set query. Right, so we can say select select ID from profile select ID from profile, or what you can do here, select ID from profile where 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 select ID from profile where I will say user ID, right? So you can see user ID is equivalent to single quote, no, it is integer, I suppose. Okay, user ID is equal to, without single quotes, I'll just add double quotes, where user ID is equal to user dot get user ID, and it is as simple as anything, right? Select ID from profile where user ID, right, is equivalent to user dot get, and just keep it here, user dot get user ID. So I'll just terminate this query here as well. And alright, so now we will say user dot set statement user dot set statement is going to take this dot connection dot create statement. Yeah, so I'll say user dot set result set user dot get statement dot execute query, and I will pass here user dot get query, right? So yeah, we have to keep this in try catch. We'll try and catch the SQL exception, and we'll see user dot set message e dot get message. And now if there is any sort of exception, so we'll say return false. All right. And if there is no exception, so we will say if user dot get result set dot next. So if there is something available in the user set, we will say return false, because now the user already exists, the user profile. Now the user profile already exists. Now if it does not exist, so I will say return right. So if it does not exist, right, if the user if there is something in the results that you're returning false, right, because user is found. If the user is not found, you're returning true. So that's absolutely fine, right? Okay, now I will go to update profile, right? So I'll go to my update profile. I will say, hey, if this dot, right? So if this dot, what was that? Profile check. If this dot profile check returns true, only then go and do all the things. That's it. All right. If it returns true, go and insert value. Right. If it does not return true, so you need not to do anything at all. So let me just go and delete this. Let me go to the structure first, and because this is unique, so yeah, this is already unique. All right, and so we can keep this. Right, so indexed. Okay, you don't have to do anything, so let me not do anything right here. So just keep it unique. All right, so now let me go back and say log out, and now for BSS.org, I will go and see that the profile table has nothing in it. So now it has caused some problems. Right, so this profile check is not working fine. So I'll say select query, select ID from profile where user ID is equal to user dot get user ID. Right, so it should work. So let me see. Let me do this system.out.println. You need to be on your toes when it comes to debugging. You should not be worried about debugging. All right, so you should be just very good at debugging. Debugging makes you a professional. If you don't know how to debug, just do not ask others to solve your errors. Try and solve your errors yourself. So by that way, you're going to become a very good debugger, or you're going to become very good at debugging. Sorry. Select ID from profile where user ID is equal to 23. So we'll have to just execute this. Why isn't this working? So this is something that we'll know only after executing the query. I think it should, but there's nothing. Unknown column user ID. Yeah, the column name is wrong. How can I do the same mistake again and again? It is USE ID. Oh, my mistake. I always make this. I don't know. I always make this spelling mistake. So I will say user ID. Right. So let me save. Okay. Now let me run this again. Log out. Fahim Khan. Password. Log in. Go back to profile. And I can now see that the username has been inserted, right? Now if I do it again, so it is not going to happen, right? Because it's going to return, the function is now going to return false, right? So let me just get rid of this user. Okay, so now what we need is two different things. So let me take a look at timings. Still we have 5 minutes. So let me go to the profile.jsp page and let me have two different things here. One is going to be my profile picture, which is by default going to be something like this. And second is going to be my sample cover picture. I don't know what cover is this. I do not know at all. My God. Alright, so I'll try and make something else. So I have this here, HTML website. So where is HTML websites here? I'll go to my videos, not videos. I'll go to image. I have some banners here. So what will I do? I will edit one of the banner for you so that I get it nicely. So this is 100%. My God, how is this possible? Maybe so. It's basically, so I'll edit. Yeah, how is it 100%? No, I don't get it. Now if I open this, yeah, it comes nice. When I open this, it also comes nice. But yeah, once I say I want to edit you, yeah, now it's coming full. Alright, so now it's coming full. I will just delete it and keep it very, I'll keep some lighter color here. I'll give something light, or maybe more lighter, right? Or maybe again more lighter. Why is it coming darker instead of lighter? Okay, I'll finalize this color. Right, so I'll finalize this color. Let it be. Okay, finalized. And I'll write here default cover. What do I say? Default cover. So this is going to be default cover image, right? So I'll just stick it like this. So it has to be in the center. And I'll just increase this as well. Alright, so let it be here. Alright, so it's going to be my default cover. I will save this image, default cover image, in desktop, maybe. Yeah, so I call this D cover, so which is going to be default cover image. And second one is going to be, okay, let me keep it something like this. Right, so I'll say, so I'll go with new image like this, and I will save this now. Alright, so I call this as default profile picture, right? It's not necessary that each and every one is going to update, right? So, but what is it that you want in the beginning, right? What do you want in the beginning to come, right? So, when by default and implicitly, if you want to, let's say about load something, right? So that's what I'm talking about. Let's keep it default profile. So I'll just save this in there. I'll just save it in a desktop, so in JPG maybe. So I'll say D cover, it's in JPG, so I'll say D file. So now I've saved both the files, D cover, and we have now a D profile. So I'll take both the images and drop them to IMGS folder, which is here, image, right? So let me go ahead and create this image. Image is here. Let me go ahead and create a new folder. Call this as profile. Alright, so now this is your profile, and I'll drag and drop both the images, which is this. Now we have cover and we have this image. So let me drag and drop the D cover right here. Okay. No, I don't have to do this. I have to do this. Right, so okay. Let me see. Yeah, it has come now. And you can see it has come and gone or over, it has basically overlapped. So I will say width 100%. So you don't have to take the complete width. Now it's absolutely perfect because we designed a flexible model. So this is going to be your cover, right? And this welcome to profile page is not required. Absolutely right. So looks better. Yeah. So I will say right. Okay, 100%. So we'll do R&D some other time, because we're not going to do R&D at this moment in time. So we're just learning how to upload pictures now, right? So now, and each and every one, for example, if I log in, I should get my own cover picture and my own profile picture. If someone else logs in, he should get his own cover picture and its own profile picture. So tomorrow's topic is going to be truly and solely about file upload. So let's get started with file upload. Right, and you have already downloaded the library, because the last time you downloaded JSON library that had that file upload library as well, the jar file as well. So we'll add that jar file, right, and then we go quickly and we get going. We'll quickly get going with the file upload procedure, right? And if I go to libraries, and you can see we already have JSON 1.6 library, I can go and add a library right here, or I can add a jar, maybe add a jar folder, and you can see Java library has this commons IO, which is input output, and we have commons file upload 1.2. so please add both the libraries and keep both the libraries ready, right? So commons IO 2.4 jar, and right, so tomorrow we are going to start with that, right, or we are going to start with files upload. So tomorrow we are going to make sure that the user updates his profile, and we are going to fetch all the profile data here, and also we are going to have a nice cover picture with a nice profile picture of the user. Until then, I want you to practice, synchronize yourself with my teachings, and I wish all the best. Please practice and let me know if I can help you. Bye bye, take care.